Hello everyone, welcome back to the detailed lecture series on UGC Net English. In the previous lecture, we discussed the biography of the Victorian poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. Today we have another topic, that is John Milton's work, Samson Agonistes. Samson Agonistes, published in 1671. John Milton, born in 1608 and passed in 1674. Samson Agonistes is basically a verse drama, or we can say a verse play written by John Milton. Samson Agonistes means Samson the wrestler, or we can say Samson the champion. The character Samson basically appears in the biblical book of Judges. Samson or Shimson was a legendary Israelite warrior and judge. He was a divinely inspired leader. Samson was renowned for the prodigious strength that he derived from his uncut hair. So remember, before going to Milton's play, we have to know the character Samson. Samson is a character basically Milton took the character from the Bible. And Samson in the Bible was a warrior, a powerful character who had his strength because of his long hair. So his strength derives from his long hair, and once his hair is cut, his strength is lost. Milton's work is a tragic closet drama, a closet play or closet drama. A closet drama or tragedy is one which is more suited for reading than performance. So Milton wrote his play not to be performed on the stage but for private reading. The work is written in blank verse. The work focuses on the inner workings of the mind of the protagonist, Samson. The work appeared with the publication of Milton's another work, that was the second part of Paradise Lost, that is Paradise Regained, published in 1671. So along with Paradise Regained, Milton published the closet drama Samson Agonistes. In 1671, the work was printed with a new title page and a preface with a discussion on Greek tragedy and Aristotle's work Poetics. On the title page, Milton wrote that the work was a dramatic poem rather than a drama. So Milton wanted his work to be perceived as a dramatic poem, not as a drama in the traditional sense. Before giving the play the title, the present title, that is Samson Agonistes, Milton had in his mind some ideas of the title, including the following. Initial titles given to the work by Milton include the following. First of all, Samson Persephorus, that means Samson the firebrand. Then he titled it as Samson Hybristus, which means Samson the violent. And he also had his plan to title the book as Samson marrying or in Ramath Lechi and Dagonalia, which means the unholy rites at which Samson performed his vindication of God. So remember the three titles Milton had in his plan for the drama. Milton provides a summary of the plot of the poem in a section titled The Argument. The work deals with the final phase of Samson's life and recounts the story as told in the biblical book of Judges. But unlike the biblical story, Milton focuses only on the last day of Samson's life. Milton was blind when he wrote the work Samson Agonistes. In writing the poem and choosing the character of Samson as his hero, Milton was also illustrating his own blindness which afflicted him in his later life. "I live in Gaza at the mill with slaves" is a famous line that comes from the poem Samson Agonistes. We can call it as a poem or a verse play, a verse tragedy. The play Samson Agonistes combines Greek tragedy with Hebrew scripture. So remember, it combines Greek tragic elements with the Hebrew scripture. The poem begins with the soliloquy of Samson. Now let's see how the poem or the closer drama begins. A direction is given that it tells us that the scene happens before the prison in Gaza. And Samson as a character appears and he speaks the line, "A little onward lend thy guiding hand to these dark steps a little further on." A little onward lend thy guiding hand to these dark steps a little further on. And the work ends with the lines of the chorus. The chorus speaks the ending lines of the drama. The chorus. "His servants he with a new acquist of true experience from this great event with peace and consolation has dismissed and a calm of mind all passion spent." His servants he with a new acquist of true experience from this great event with peace and consolation hath dismissed and a calm of mind all passion spent. Now let's have a look at the themes of the work. We can see the themes of self-pity, then the idea pride grows before a fall, then violence, blindness, a negative portrayal of love and love's effects, then inner struggle, religion, regeneration, etc. Now let's be familiar with the main characters in the verse drama. First of all, Samson. We know Samson is a character from the Bible, and here he is our tragic protagonist. Besides Samson, we have his father. His father is Manoah. Manoah, Samson's elderly father. Then we have Delilah. Delilah is Samson's wife. Then Harapha of Gath. Harapha of Gath is a giant. Then we have a public officer. Then a messenger. Then chorus of Danites. That means a group of chorus lamenting the strong man's self-pitying state. Now let's discuss the summary of the work. Samson Agonistes draws on the story of Samson from the Old Testament. The drama takes place after Samson's wife Delilah has cut his hair, robbing him of his strength. He is now imprisoned in Gaza, blinded by his enemies, the Philistines. So, the Philistines are the enemies of Samson. And his wife Delilah has cut his hair, thus Samson lost his strength or his power. Though imprisoned, he is free from hard labor for the day because the Philistines are celebrating a festival in honor of Dagon, one of the gods they worship. Samson laments how he was once a great warrior and now has become reduced to a blind prisoner. The chorus speaks of how they cannot believe what has happened to Samson. The chorus is comprised of Samson's admirers and the friends. Samson explains to the chorus that before he met Delilah, he married a Philistine because God told him that an alliance with the Philistine would help him in his mission to defend the Israelites. After this, Manoah, we know that Manoah is the father of Samson. Samson's father, who arrives and is stunned to see his son in his current state. Samson explains to his father that it is his own fault. All happened because of telling Delilah the secret to his strength. Samson reveals how he lost his power because of his desire for Delilah. The father and son talk about the festival to Dagon, which is even bigger this year. So Samson says that it is because the Philistines want to celebrate his defeat. So Samson says that it is not the celebration of the festival for the festival's own sake, but for the sake of celebrating the defeat of Samson. Now, Samson has no wish for a long life. He seeks only God's forgiveness for being prideful, which allowed Delilah to cut his hair. Cutting his hair stripped him of his strength. Manoah plans to bribe an official to release Samson. After this, Delilah arrives. We know that Delilah is the one who caused the trouble in Samson's life because she cut his hair and thus he lost his power or strength. So Delilah arrives and cries over Samson's state. She apologizes and offers to help Samson. But Samson no longer trusts her as before, so he just asks her to leave at once. Delilah says they both did wrong, and Samson agrees. She offers to take care of him, but Samson refuses this offer. He will not let her even touch his hand. So finally, Delilah leaves. Samson's next visitor is Harappa of Gath. Harappa of Gath. Harappa is a giant. Samson challenges Harappa to a fight. Harappa claims that Samson's strength originates from magic. But Samson denies it and insists that his strength is from the Israelites' God. It is not the result of his magic. Samson claims that God is stronger than Dagon. Harappa points out that God left Samson to his enemies. Harappa says he will not sing so low as to fight Samson. So Samson tells Harappa he is a coward. But without taking this challenge, Harappa leaves. After this, a public officer arrives to bring Samson to the festival to prove Dagon's greatness. Samson refuses this offer, and he says that it would be against the rules of the Hebrew Bible. So the officer leaves. Then the second officer arrives, and this time Samson agrees to go with him. After this we see Manoah, Samson's father, arrives to tell the chorus that he has paid a ransom for Samson and hopes it will earn his release. At this time, shouts are heard from the city where the festival is taking place. After some time, another messenger appears and says what happened off stage. Samson has killed many of the Philistines. He pulled down the temple on them and on himself. So Samson has killed himself while killing the others. Samson has died with the others. Only the peasants survived because they were not standing under the roof near Samson. Samson's father Manoah promises to hold a funeral for his son to honor his bravery. So that's the play Samson Agonistes, written by John Milton. In the next class, we will discuss the biography of the writer Matthew Arnold.